Flip TV Plus.
The Presidential Election Petition Tribunal has affirmed President Bola Ahmed Tinubu as the winner of the February 25 poll. It's another edition of Bias on the South Newsstands on Flip TV, anchored by Michael Atiku. We have our reviewers right here with us at the newsstand. Of course, all the way from Lagos, we are reaching you live. All the way from Urban Newsstand, we're saying good morning to you. It's Flip TV again, your online newspaper review program. I'm talking about bystanders at newsstand. The D-Day was yesterday, talking about September 6th. The verdict has been given, and we now have the winner as Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu. All right, quickly to what we have on the front pages of the Nation. Daily Trust, The Punch, and other newspapers. The Nation was the Nation saying this morning, Tinubu, Shettima, floor Atiku will be at Tribunal. Tinubu, Shettima, floor Atiku will be at Tribunal. Tribunal sacks another Kogi APC senator. Tribunal sacks another Kogi APC senator. Rerun ordered in Delta South. Rerun ordered in Delta South. Quickly to another story right on the front page of this paper, talking about the tribunal's verdict yesterday. Tribunal strikes out petitions of PDP, Labour Party, APM candidates. Shettima, Ganduje, Damogun, Abure, governors, ministers, others in court. President welcomes verdict, seeks support. Jubilation in India. President Bola Ahmed Tinubu jubilated in India yesterday. And we have the Daily Trust newspaper, was the Daily Trust saying at the newsstand. Very, very crucial one. on the front page of Daily Trust newspaper. Why we dismissed Article Obi's cases, says Tribunal. Why we dismissed Article Obi's cases, says Tribunal. Join me in nation building. Tinubu tells opposition the president has told the oppositions to join him in nation building. PDP Labour Party rejects verdict. APC hails judgment. PDP Labour Party rejects verdict. APC hails judgment. Democracy. People have won. That's what the former president Muhammadu Buhari is saying on the front page of Daily Trust. Democracy. People have won, says Muhammadu Buhari, the ex-president of the country. Judgment difficult to fault, says Yadudu. INEC fought petitioners to stand still. INEC fought petitioners to stand still, says Ade Burua. We have the front page of this Daily Trust giving us a picture right here. 100 days of courageous leadership. That's what we have on the front page of this paper. I congratulate our president and commander-in-chief, Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu, on his 100 days in office. This was signed by Abdulaziz Abubakar Yari, senator representing Zamfara West Senatorial District and former two-term governor of Zamfara State. You can see the picture on the front page of Daily Trust. Quickly to the Punch newspaper. What's the Punch saying this morning? I think, and not just I think, all the dailies this morning are talking on the same subject. Atiku Obi plan appeal as election tribunal dashes bid to sack Tinubu. Atiku Obi plan appeal as election tribunal dashes bid to sack Tinubu. That's what the Punch is saying on page 2. We have other stories on the front page of the Punch newspaper. Atiku Obi's rigging allegations not proved. Electronic transmission not compulsory, says Presidential Election Petition Tribunal. That's PEPT. It is victory for democracy. Tinubu APC hail judgment. Labour Party Atiku film fault tribunal. You can see the pictures of the attendees yesterday. We have the vice president of the country, Shettima, at court yesterday. We have diverse pictures here that we won't be able to mention today. And the last paper we'll be reading to the viewers across the globe, the Vanguard newspaper. What's the Vanguard saying? On page 5 of Vanguard, why Atiku Obi's petitions against Tinubu failed, says Tribunal. Why Atiku Obi's petitions against President Tinubu failed, says Tribunal. We have Obi Labour Party failed to prove rigging over voting. Portions of Obi's petition imprecise, nebulous of particular materials. Obi validly nominated by LP, and other stories on the front page of the Vanguard newspaper. Of course, we have our reviewers ready to analyze what they saw yesterday. It's another day, another good day at the newsstand, and we hope to get the reviews of our reviewers right here at the newsstand. Michael, it's a good morning to you.
Michael Adekule, good morning.
How you doing?
Very well, thank you. And you?
Yeah, I'm fine. It's another good day at the newsstand.
The day after.
A day after. There would have been so much, to talk about this verdict of this presidential election tribunal. The day was yesterday. This is the aftermath of the judgment by the tribunal. And I know you have one or two things or one or two contributions to make this morning concerning the verdict or the judgment.
Having considered and decided that the 3 petitions, number CA from PEPC 03-2023, CAPEPC 04-2023, and CAPEPC. Having considered and decided that the 3 petitions
It's going to be about what is before the judges, and it may not necessarily be what transpired. So for me, their judgment was based on the evidences that was provided, and it was an exhaustive one, over 10 hours of judgment. I mean, they kept reading it for over 10 hours and all of that. So it is. That was what they gave. That was what they gave. But for me, my reaction to the judgment is that for our nation, it is not healthy that the leadership of our nation will come up from the courts, that the validity of our leaders has to be from the court rather than from the ballots, and that is the danger I'm seeing in all that is playing out. You know, INEC, that has been saddled with the responsibility of ensuring a free, fair, and credible election, didn't live up to expectation, and that was why it has to get to the courts. The entire process will have ended with the ballots if the entire process was transparent enough. And that, for me, that has cast a very dark cloud on our electoral process. If you remember, during the election, INEC promised that there will be transmission of results, which for me will have brought credibility to our electoral process. If you remember, even people that have already given up on our electoral process became interested the moment INEC said that. They felt, okay, this time around is not business as usual. This time around, things are going to change. And they all came on board to be part of that process. But unfortunately, the transmission didn't go as INEC promised. As a matter of fact, after the election, INEC told us that they had a technical glitch, and that cast a lot of doubts on that process. And when a process is not transparent, the credibility has a question mark. And I think that was what happened. That was why the whole thing has to result into the tribunals. And the tribunals will only base their judgment on available evidence. And don't also forget that proving a case beyond reasonable doubt in a country like ours is an Herculean task. It is very exhaustive. Look at the barrage of evidences that was brought to court while that tribunal was going on. And if you listen to what judges were saying yesterday, that they were not sufficient enough. The people involved, both Labour Party and PDP, could not prove their case beyond reasonable doubt.
Because said some of these allegations lack.
Also, Mike, the 25% of votes that Abuja, I mean, you know that was invoked at some point that is required. The judges or the judge said Abuja is not peculiar.
It's not a special.
It's not a special state. Yeah. It doesn't have any special status. It should be treated like every other state.
That the condition for victory there is not mandatory.
Exactly. So the interpretation of that particular place was based on judges' discretion. So judges are at liberty whether to interpret it literally or interpret it technically and all of that.
And that's what some Nigerians have been emphasizing on, especially the obedience.
So
the 25% in Abuja.
Exactly. So that is the implication of having the courts to determine who wins an election, because it is subject to a lot of technicalities, subject to the discretion of even the judges sometimes, and all of that, which is not too good for our electoral process. The ideal thing could have been the president emerging from the ballots with a free, fair, and transparent election.
Even I even saw it that the electronic transmission was not compulsory.
You know,
That's what the presidential elections
exactly, Mike.
tribunal said.
Those that craft the electoral laws, don't forget you are dealing with people that have ulterior motives sometimes. Some of them, and they deliberately put some of this lacuna into those laws. They saw it, they knew it will come up someday, but it won't hold water. Why? It has no legal basis. Like the transmission, we hear it yesterday. The judge said INEC don't have to transmit. So the question is, why the noise about transmission before the election? Why was INEC promising that okay, we are going to transmit and give credibility to this election or to this electoral process when we know, or when those that craft the laws knows that it is not tenable in courts?
Now, would you say it was a waste of time for Obi and Atiku?
It's not a waste of time. It's a test on our judicial process. It's a test on our judges to stand up when it matters most. No, everyone involved will have their name in history book. Whether you do it rightly or you do it wrongly, your name has been penciled down as to what you did when the people were expecting judgments. Did you actually give justice, or you gave judgments? Justice has to be fair. Justice has to be the truth, and justice has to be balanced. And for me, I think we have not seen much of that in the judgment of yesterday.
Now, away from that, let's move to Labour. Yesterday was the conclusion of the two-day warning strike to the federal government, and Labour said it recorded a greater compliance. Did you see it that way? Quite all right, public schools didn't open, and the first day, some public schools opened, which the students or the pupils were sent back to their homes. Now, did NLC really recorded a greater compliance?
No, for me, the compliance was partial. At least judging from where I reside in Lagos, the compliance was like 30% in Lagos. I may not be able to speak of other states. I'm not on ground there. So, but for Lagos, it's about 30% compliance. We're all here, and we saw even the National Union of Road Transport Workers, a major ally of Labour, didn't comply. The civil servants went to work, and you should expect that for a place like Lagos. This is the political base of the president. They will not want to do anything to embarrass him. The leadership of Lagos will try as much as possible to jettison such calls that is coming from Labour. So I'm not surprised.
Has Labour been able to send the message to the federal government?
But for other states, I mean, for what I monitored in the news, for other states, there was some substantial level of compliance, and I think that is the message. The message is just to keep telling the federal government that we have not backed down on where we stand and all of that. So for me, they are in order.
Thank you so much, Michael. I appreciate it.
Many thanks.
Going. Let's this man sleep.
All right, good morning, sir.
Yeah, good morning. Good morning.
On your mandate, on your mandate, on your mandate, we shall stand. We shall stand. On your mandate, we shall stand. We shall stand. On your mandate.
acting, and they are jubilating everywhere for the judgment. Due to the fact that judgment in the history of Nigeria, we've never for once come across this kind of judgment because this judgment is so fantastic, so brilliant. So
Why you not take your camera? No.
Continue. Lucky, let him talk, please, Lucky. Sorry, sir. Sorry. Can you come closer to the mic? Okay. You are free.
So as I was saying, if you look around you, you will see people. If you look around, you will see people jubilating all around. It's not as if they are here to sell pepper or they are here to sell tomato. They are not here to sell onion. They are all jubilating. They all came out in the mammoth crowd to jubilate this verdict given to the All Progressive Congress APC. In the history of Nigeria, we've never for once witnessed this kind of a judgment before because the judgment did not favor only APC. The judgment did not favor only APC. The judgment favored virtually all the parties. In a situation whereby Labour Party putting their petition.
You need to concentrate because they will distract you. You know,
they are already distracted. Some of them are distracting, but that is part of their jubilation. It's part of the jubilation.
When you said everybody is
no, it's part of jubilation. Because you know, in the midst of jubilation, there will be distraction too. So, as I was saying, the petition written by APC is not a candidate of LP. The judgment struck it out, and that was fantastic. The judgment said that's internal affair. It's not peculiar to Nigerians. And in the case of Kogi State, they withdrew 2 National Assembly from APC, and they gave it to the PDP, the main winner. That shows that the judgment is not biased. The judgment is unbiased. It's not as if in every judgment they gave, they favored APC. But the main actor, the LP and the PDP couldn't phantom, they couldn't just give us an iota of the rigged. They claim that the APC rigged. They cannot come out to tell us. And we did not even see it. And why we did not find one, then why would we be treating something that we did not see? So the judgment, God will bless them, and God will increase their knowledge and understanding. Their intuition will not go down. And if you have a panel like this, definitely Nigeria is safe. Then definitely we are witnessing and we are now experiencing the check and balances that we have been clamoring for. And as a matter of fact, when we witness this kind of a thing, that means the executive will sit up. Because this is a challenge to an executive power, the executive arms. When the judiciary has given their own oaths to Nigeria that they can do a wonderful job like this, the legislature will sit tight, the executive will sit tight, because this is awesome. I must confess to you, awesome. The judgment is just okay. That's why you are seeing Nigerian. Look at everybody. They are just jubilating and happy.
I don't have.
They are happy. So thank you very much.
No, you're not going now. You're not going now. Let me ask you some questions. Lucky, can you allow me to talk? But the oppositions are not happy with the judgment of the tribunal.
You say what?
The oppositions are not happy with the outcome of the process.
Those that are not happy, they are making their judgment based on ethnicity.
I'm talking about Atiku and Obi.
Atiku and Obi?
They are not happy with the...
Oh, of course. Yeah. That one is bound to happen. Anybody that judgment is not favored, they are bound not to happy. It's not like somebody who fights in boxing a royal battle. If someone lost, you will not be happy. Liverpool playing Manchester United, Liverpool win, you don't expect Manchester to be happy. That is the game. 3 people play the game, 1 person emerge. You don't expect the 2 parties to be happy. So that is life, generally. We are appealing to them to work hand in hand with the led government, the APC, so that they can move Nigeria forward.
And you think that judgment was the best judgment given?
Oh my God. A future we have no pity on those men who possess this exceptional privilege of speaking the word of truth to their oppressors, and who have taken a refuge, mute and passivity. What I simply mean is that if we could first know where we were and where we are and where we are tending, definitely we should better know what to do and how to do it. These judges have done a wonderful job. If you see them, even some of their colleagues were busy sleeping. The 5 panels, they did a fantastic job. They did not sleep, rigorous research, and different with all the evidences that the Labour Party brought forward. They treated it accordingly. They treated it accordingly. They scrutinized it. They compile it, they fetch it, and at the end of the day, they came together and realized that all those what they brought forward is just nothing but shackles and menacles.
Now, someone is tackling you here. One of the viewers. I was the person saying, Blessed One, by the paper he has in his hands, you can tell the nation.
So what?
By the paper, the person is saying that by the paper you have in your hands,
okay,
it can tell that you are not saying the truth because of the nation. The nation is super. And the owner of the nation is super.
I actually bought 2 papers.
Okay.
I actually bought 2 papers. I bought this day, and I bought the nation. The nation that I'm holding, I put my this day there. The owner of this day is Nduka Obagbena. And when you hear the name, you will simply know that Nduka Obagbena is from Southeast. He's an Igbo man. Because I love his paper very, very well.
The one you're holding now
the one is I'm holding, because he just called me now, and somebody just took that one away from me this day. The one I'm holding is the nation.
And you think what you're saying is the honest truth?
Why not?
That the tribunal gave the best
my
judgment.
Lord. All of them wrote the same thing. Virtually all of them wrote the same thing. Not all about the nation being the APC or affiliated to APC or what have you. Virtually all the papers, there's something they call conference meeting, correspondent meeting. Yeah, a media person. All of them will go to feed, and when they come together, they share the news, they share the information together, and they balance the information. So all of them wrote virtually the same thing. They cannot write what is not in the tribunal. They cannot write outside the judgment. They all wrote the same thing, and that's just the fact. For the fact that I'm holding the nation now doesn't mean that I'm affiliated to any party. I am a Nigerian. I don't belong to any political party. I even prefer Labour Party at times because of their mechanism, the way they canvass, the way they mobilize in a modern way. But the first thing remains that the existing structure that the APC have on ground will not even allow them, will not even make them to go near the position.
Now, away from that, let's quickly move down to Labour. Looking at the level of compliance yesterday made it 2 days, of the planned strike, which ended yesterday. Now, would you say it was encouraging?
Their what?
The level of compliance yesterday by Nigerians, would you say it was encouraging? I'm talking about the strike by Labour.
The Labour shouldn't put sentiments in what is going on now, because what we met on ground is not something nice at all. I mean, the last government left a deficit, bad administration to the present government. And this present government is just recuperating. They are just restructuring Nigeria. As me and you know, they just appointed the minister not quite long, and the minister have not even fully started their work. Let us give this man a chance to prove his worth. He has done it in Lagos for good 8 years, and he transformed Lagos. Where you are today, you can see the transformation, street lights, street everything, street amenities. Lagos State has set the pace for other people to copy. Look at the Blue Railway, look at the Red Railway, look at the BRC, look at the environment. Even some countries that don't even know states, some countries in West Africa, they are coming to Lagos to learn their templates. They are coming to Lagos to learn their blueprint. They are coming to Lagos to come and ask them how did they manage to do it. Take a look at how the last ones are working, controlling the traffic. As you can see now, there's no traffic on the road. Look at our VIO, the way they are checking the vehicle licenses. It's awesome. Lagos State is seriously working progressively, and that is why you can never compare Lagos with every other state. Lagos State have the numerical strength of nothing less than 25 million. People are still coming. Those guys that you are mentioning that they said they are not happy with the judgment. They are all Eastern. They are all Eastern people. They are Igbos. They cannot stay in their own state because their state is not habitable. This is a state where we have no work on Monday. Sit at home on Monday. Is it not moribund for a particular governor to allow some miscreants to be dictating for the citizens of his state to be sitting at home on Monday, meaning that they are working for 4 days. They are working for 4 days. They are sitting at home for 3 days. How would you expect their economy to grow in such states?
Well, you know what
their economy is a subset of Nigeria.
Well, you know what they are fighting for there?
Whatever they are fighting for is none of our own business. We are also fighting in Yoruba land too. I am a typical Yoruba. Igbo is a typical example of one of our militants. He was fighting, and And Nigerian Yoruba are not even dancing towards this direction, because we know that what he is fighting for is not the time now. We are not ready for that time. So we have divergence of opinion, we have divergence of reasoning. Igbo may be doing his own. The first class and second class citizen of Yoruba, they are not following that trend, because we want a great nation. We want a developed nation. We actually want to move from underdeveloped nation to developing nation, if not developed nation. That is where the Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu, the president of this particular country, is taking us to. And I'm very sure the God Almighty that has today will take him there. You know why? When men of great minds stands aloof, like all those people criticizing the work of Tinubu, the evil may try to perpetuate the society. And I must tell it categorically to you that this person that we are even talking about, even that judgment was not given to you, you did not even witness it in Nigeria. It was in Indian, telling you that he's just walking around. The person they were criticizing that he was shaking, he was doing this thing, he was crippling, he was this and that. He was busy walking. I was told probably 2 weeks or last week ago, he was in China, he was there, he was here and there. Immediately he entered, the West African country relinquished their position for him so as to become the ECOWAS president. They have seen that particular quality of good leadership in him. That's why they relinquished that position for him. And the guy is doing awesome. Look at the way he's just handling the West African country nations situation. Particularly those people that are trying to form mutiny or tiny cabal to take position from the left position people. I mean the military people. He was handling and is still handling that job perfectly. The man is handling 2 jobs: the president of Nigeria, at the same time the president of the West African countries.
Now, if you say he's doing well, now why are Nigerians criticizing? I'm not saying all Nigerians.
Oh
Some
my
Nigerians
God!
Criticizing him
If we have
in 100,
if you say
100 days,
I wouldn't say you are making fallacy of hasty generalization.
and that's why I said some Nigerians. Not all Nigerians.
There's something they call hasty generalization.
No, some Nigerians.
Hasty generalization in philosophy. For the fact that 6 Igbo states are criticizing the work of the present government, it doesn't mean that the remaining 31 states are not happy. In Lagos State, we are happy. We are going to our various work virtually every day. Everything is working fine for an average Lagosian. You can see the commoter, you can see the happiness in their mood. They are very, very happy. They are doing their fantastic job here and there. The Agberos are happy. Those people giving them money are happy. There's no fighting anywhere. What's it called? All the artisans, they are happy. That's why I said, if you go to Agege today.
Aren't you feeling the pains of the harsh policy, the subsidy removal?
Oh my God. Virtually every Nigerians are facing it. Okay. We are in a situation where our external situation is seriously affecting our internal situation. I'm not disputing that. But it's not happening only in Nigeria. It's happening all over the world. This is global recess. It's not peculiar to Nigeria alone. But Tinubu, like I rightly said, Tinubu, the president of Nigeria, will make Nigeria laugh at the end of the day. Because I know he has done it before and he continues to do it. Because one, he said, let the poor breathe. He's not a poor man, he's a billionaire. But when he uttered that statement, he did not utter that statement for himself. He uttered it in favor of the masses. Who is my friend? Because I know he's a poor man too. He did it in his favor. So he actually